Raise up your collab cup. Let's collaborate
Raise it up.
and listen.
Boom.
All right, collab.
Boom.
Collab.
Boom. Boom.
All right.
Collabo.
Welcome back to another episode of the Second Wind podcast with Dave, Eric, Dan, the sexy Bobby Choy, and John. What's up, guys? We're back. We're back in the studio. Studio looks a little different.
It's been a while.
Yeah.
Oh, I did
Great.
New furniture.
Took a little road trip.
This is oh yeah, you guys got like sponsored by some furniture place, right?
Yeah. Neff's Home.
Let's throw them a shout out. Where are they at?
Neff's Home.
Neff's
N-E-F-S.
They sent me a little cabinet to my house too, and I was really excited about that. So
I need some stuff.
Appreciate you, Sam.
yeah,
Next or next?
Neff's.
Neff's. N-E-F-S.
They got some great stuff, man.
Yeah, really good stuff.
man.
When are down?
It's all like
This coffee table too. I got one of these
Super
coffee
heavy.
tables too.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, sweet.
Real dope.
solid wood.
Yeah,
Oh, yeah?
Yeah.
Oh, good stuff.
it's all modern too. So
Yeah.
lots happened.
I know. What's going on? Let's talk about. I know we went to a couple rrestaurants and
Yeah.
now we're back in the studio. What's
in the
going on?
studio.
How are you, Eric?
I'm good, man. You know, like I think the restaurant experience was really awesome. Actually, we went out to our buddy Untaki's place in the woods, and I went back with my buddy Kobe.
You tried a different menu.
We tried the goat.
Oh, you tried to go?
That's right. I did see the goat. How was it though? Because we've had it at different places.
Unreal.
Oh, really?
Absolutely unreal.
So tell us about that.
So they, they raise all the stuff there, right there at the location, right? And the goats, I guess, they slaughter every morning. One.
Wow.
So it's all fresh.
Oh,
And it was
man.
like unbelievable. They make this great sauce and like they put it all together in like a big like stew type thing.
So it's first you eat the meat from the soup,
Right,
then you
right.
drink the soup and maybe fry the rice after or something?
They have like, they put all the like the ribs and everything and the meat all out,
Yeah.
and then you have a sauce you dip it in,
shit.
and then you can put it in like a soup, and then after the soup they can make like fried rice and everything afterwards. But it was awesome. Like went up there and hung out like the whole morning with him. It was a beautiful day. Talked to the father. Went up into the forest and saw how they tapped the trees and got the water out. And everything.
Yeah.
We need to put up a video of that,
Yeah, it
of
was
us going after that.
Absolutely unreal. Like the restaurant's become one of my favorites. It's awesome.
Right? And you were saying about they use the water for the food?
Yeah, because like I didn't know that there were any tappable trees in Korea, like these like kind of Korean maple, whatever it was.
It's like a Korean maple, right?
Yeah, it's like
I thought you were supposed to tap other things than trees. But anyway.
Come on, John.
dude, hit the
Oh, there you go.
Wrong one.
The Charlie Brown.
it was interesting, like because like he said that there's his dad, because he was born in that area, he knows the specific trees, right?
Oh, my
he went
God.
and hiked around the forest and found 20 trees, and every morning he takes 40 liters of water.
Wow.
Yeah, I need to go back and get some more korose.
So he hikes around, grabs his water, and then that water is the base for all this. It's their soup broth.
Oh, that's the soup broth.
So they make
base.
doenjang jjigae. They make every soup they make. That's the base. They don't use regular water. They use
That's freaking
the
cool.
water from the tree.
And this water, when you just drink it out of the tap,
Oh, it's,
like slightly sugar water, right? Slight.
It has a slight sugary taste. By the way, the place is called Gyegok-Sanjang, and the video, we'll put a link to the video.
man.
Yeah.
Unreal. Like that day when on the way back, me and Dan were like, man, we wish we could have stayed longer because the food was so good.
Yeah.
And I was like, no, fuck it, I got to go back. And just went back.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
How far out was that? Where is that?
It's Bukhansan, but it takes a little. Bukhansan's not far to get to, but it's the backside, so you have to drive. There's no tunnel or anything through the mountain, so you have to go all the way around the mountain.
Yeah.
So it actually takes like an hour,
Right. Okay.
but like as the crow flies, it's not that far. Like if you look at it on a map, it's not far.
Yeah.
And another thing, I wish you would have gone with us.
I know.
But we need to
Needed
get
you,
you
man.
out with
You
us
went on a weekday, right?
Yeah.
I'm stuck at work.
while you're working at collab.
Yeah.
No, the restaurant, like just the atmosphere, just everything that's there, it's all fresh. And like his parents are awesome. His sister was actually there when we went there too.
Oh, nice.
So it was
Cool.
Yeah, it was fucking
And
unreal.
Ever the dog.
And of course, Ever
Dog's
the famous
great.
Samoyed.
Yeah.
Yeah. Now that was because we heard about that restaurant for so long, and then finally be able to go there and experience it and have the whole thing was fucking.
Was aware. Okay, so if we do, I thought we were gonna do 4 of these food tours.
Maybe not in a row, but I mean, we will.
Right,
Let's do
right.
The next one, yeah.
So what would be the next? Like, have you guys got a place you guys are thinking about, or?
So we were thinking, I mean, let's even talk about it right now because, so we, like Dave and I were talking about like the different themes or the different something cool. Because, a lot of people, we talked about this before, a lot of people can't come to Korea right now, right? So we kind of want to show for the people who can't come to live vicariously through us and also for the people here like, hey, there's some new things, that you can try besides, the same shit that you're eating, right?
Well, if I could offer something out there, like for a suggestion, I think we should go to like Gyegok-Sanjang.
That's actually a great idea.
And that's right by my house. Yes.
What's
The seafood market?
It's
sweet.
You can go there and pick your fish, and like when pre-COVID and whatnot, you go there and just drink all night and like have fish. They make fresh seafood and sushi and everything for you.
Cool.
But, yeah, they make great soups and everything is fresh. It's awesome.
I like it
Yeah.
better than norangjin actually because it's
Yeah.
it's
But they upgraded
so much
Noryangin.
better.
I haven't been there since they re-renovated it. But when I drive by, I see like, oh wow, look at you guys.
Gyegok-Sanjang, they kind of like it looks different now. Then it's not the old
really?
school Shijang.
okay.
But the thing about Gyegok-Sanjang is that everyone goes to Noryangin because it's kind of like it's on the
it's famous
tourist
one.
map.
Yeah.
Gyegok-Sanjang is like for the real people. Like so, a lot of people that have restaurants just go there to get like their potatoes. It's not just seafood either.
Right.
It's huge, man. They got
massive.
everything there.
Yeah.
So. Like our buddy Alex, it's funny. He goes all the way to Gyegok-Sanjang because he gets potatoes, the best potatoes for the best price.
So I think that's a fantastic idea. Let's try Gyegok-Sanjang.
Let's do it.
Yeah.
Should we do it when we can
Let's go right now.
when we can drink and stuff? And
Yeah.
we go there and have a few drinks. Bob, you want to come out?
Yeah, hell yeah.
And then we can do that
Sounds
up,
good.
have some soju and do it right.
Yeah.
There's other place we were thinking about going. Okay, in the springtime, it's traditional to go and what's the big samgyetang? The big one. Starts with
peksu.
an M. Peksu.
Mm-hmm.
Do you guys have peksu when they kill the bird in the back? They actually go and I went once.
Yeah, I've
They kill
had
the
that.
bird back there and they bring it in. Yeah. Well, I wasn't there for that, but that's pretty. And then the
was actually pretty good.
freaking thing is like huge. So we could do that too, because it's traditional in spring, right? They do that.
Yeah, we did that one time. And usually there's a lot of these places like for that kind of poyangshik, just like Untaki's place. A lot of them are like by Gyegok. Like I don't know why, but in Korea, all these like places that have like
What's
yamso, like it's a little creek.
Little creek.
Yeah. Something where you're kind of out in nature. So
Yeah.
a long time ago, when now they have a bunch of apartments and whatever, but like Misa, right? They used to have cafes and stuff. So you would go out to Misa. And what do you call it? There would be a lot of these places where you can kind of sit in nature and eat dog, basically eat portion dog.
Yeah.
So back now, I don't think I'll eat. Well, not I don't think I won't eat dog now. But a long time ago, when when like in the 90s, I did try dog and go out to like Misa with my relatives, and we had some dog. So
we talked to I actually asked Kentucky's mom about that, and she said that like, one of the reasons like the preparation is really key, or the smell will come out, and then it'll go into your clothes and everything, and that's why a lot of those restaurants are outdoor. So she said like a lot of the preparation is key.
So when the people say you smell like dog, that's
Literal.
that shit's real.
Dave, have you ever tried dog? Mung mung?
I have one time. It was about 15 years ago. Didn't really.
Wasn't for you?
No.
What did you like
It really
it?
tastes that much different.
It just tastes kind of like beef, right?
It tasted like more harsh beef or something.
Little
more,
jigyo?
yeah, a little chicken, like gamey beef kind of.
Gamey beef,
when you
is
put
that
the
like
sesame-
goat? Is it more like goat or lamb?
Well, I can't remember. I just remember it not being that much different.
Goat's pretty close. I think. I mean, they're always like all different, but I mean, I think it would be pretty close. It'd be like comparing like duck to pheasant. I think like they're pretty close comparables.
I remember turtle was kind of tender though. When I had turtle a long time ago.
Charatang?
Yeah, charatang.
Yeah, I had that one.
Or
time.
tortoise stew. That was a little tender.
So,
It really
John,
tasted
you're really
like
into
chicken.
like the 청력.
No.
좋은-
So these are like tortoise I had when I was still in like middle school. So they had I think the gallbladder or something, right? And they're like,
gallbladder?
it's only for the adults, and then they wouldn't give it to the kids. Right? I mean, what's a kid gonna do with the hard woody, right?
What is that? Silgi?
Sergey, yeah.
Sergey or something? like that?
Sergey.
Yeah. I have a.
Sergey's a chick.
sorry. It's so long since I've heard that. Me and Eric, like when we came to Korea, especially being in Undong and doing sports, they feed you all kinds of stuff. Like
Yeah, I'm sure.
like snake. And then there's this sur. They make a lot of sur out of like
The bear's gallbladder.
bear's gallbladder. They do snake.
That's like a delicacy in China, right? The gallbladder.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They do it out of superstition. Or they're just like
It can't be
being good
scientific,
hosts.
man. I just don't think it's scientific. I think it's just the older generation's been passed down that this is good for you and people keep doing it. I don't know that it's ever been scientifically tested.
Who knows? But I mean, I'm sure they tried it out in their own, they go back home like,
Right.
a little
Like-
more rock hard.
At the basic level, it's like chango.
Yeah, so we're about to say that. That's
Unagi.
another one that people talk about, eel.
But honestly, like in Korea, what don't they say gives you heart? They're like, oh, this is really good for men.
Ginseng.
They say like everything is good for men.
Like the
everything.
tail of the eel.
Like the eel.
Yeah.
Meaning your
deer antler.
virility, right?
Yeah, it's like everything. All these foods. Like we were in like where Chiri-san, they said those little red berries are good for your dick. Like it's like everything. Like, how is everything good for your dick?
It's all dick food, man.
Like is there a big
But you know
problem?
what? I've noticed the common thing is a lot of it's very phallic, like mikuraji or like
It's like a dick.
What's mikuraji again?
It's like
what's
the river,
No,
small little-
in English, what do you call that? I
don't know.
The shit that slithers out of your hand. No, in English.
leeches. Or,
No, it's not a leech. It's
It's like a little eel. It's like a little.
It's
eel.
like a little eel, but there's a
river.
word for it. That they slide out of your hand a lot easier and stuff. They're anyway.
Jelly worm, gummy bear. I don't know.
Fuck you, 29%.
Oh, you're up.
My ENJ engine token. So in cryptocurrency world, this token. I got off the food, right?
Here we go.
There you go.
Right,
Food
right.
to crypto. Let's
Good
go.
segue.
Segue.
Dave's not even listening. He's just like crypto.
Fuck, this thing is exploding, man. It's like 29% from yesterday. Anyway, this token is for gamers. And so either like Fortnite and all that. And it's just got okay through the Japanese cryptocurrency commission over there and one of the exchanges. And apparently it's really hard to get on a Japanese exchange. They've been okayed. And when all the gamers gamble, they make a lot of money. They use these tokens to transfer the money. And this is pretty much the only one out right now. So
That's huge.
And now
Yeah.
it's up 29%.
yeah, it was 50 cents last week. Then it hovered around $1.18, and now it's $1.56. It's just kind of going way up. I bought it $1.18 and $1.
And then he was saying he put all, whatever the amount is. I'm not going to say the amount,
Yeah.
but he put all his
went all in
amount
on
in
it.
his exchange, all in on engine.
I'm
You're killing it.
So that's why
Well,
someone's
it's not
distracted
much
today
money,
while we're
but it's-
talking.
Congratulations, man.
Congrats.
Big
I
time,
hope
though.
that shit goes up to $2.
Well, I put a stop loss order at $1.41, so I'm playing a little conservatados.
But if it goes up,
Yeah.
sell like
got
30%.
Momjoa.
Sell like 30% of it when you're a little
맞아.
more up.
30% is great for a year. Like if you
Yeah.
make 30% of your investment,
Hell
like
yeah.
10%'s like that's like the market in a year. If you
Man,
do
if you
30% in a couple days, like that's great.
If you get 10%, you probably sitting like great. You're like, okay.
Yeah, because if you can do that year over year over year, like with the compounded interest,
Just the way things are blowing up now, man.
yeah.
Dinner might be on Dave for
Yeah.
yeah, well,
we're wishing you well, Dave.
If this goes to $2,
Take me on your private jet, man. Just give me a ride.
you know the GameStop fiasco
Yeah.
that's happening. And I was
Did you do that?
No, but I saw it happening, right? And I was just thinking, GameStop fiasco, gamers, this thing. I kind of shot in the dark. It might, the hands at B might be just getting in there, because anyway.
Oh, it's like a feeding frenzy. Everyone's like, now I think, especially with the pandemic, everyone's at home looking for ways. A lot of people are looking for ways just to be productive when they can't work or when they're working remote. And so I think it'd be interesting to see. I mean, there's probably statistics are out there like how many new subscribers to all these like E-Trade and Robinhood and
Oh,
it's
gotta
probably got to
insane.
be crazy.
It's got to be insane
Yeah.
because I mean the stock
Yeah.
market's like a lot of people that might have been hesitant before, like you said, now they're at home with time on their hands, so they can actually do research. They can get tips from their friends and play a little bit here and there, day trade and whatnot. do
I started
penny
doing
stock.
Korean stock too recently. Last week.
Kospi?
Oh, this is the cool one. Yeah.
Yeah.
I heard it's going bananas too.
Well, there's this one particular stock that like someone gave me a tip because she knows
Don't tell anyone. Samsung.
like she knows the lawyer, and it's regarding COVID, and they're supposed to make an announcement like tomorrow or something. So I just bought a little bit of that.
Is it like a vaccine or something?
A vaccine treatment related, and I think the animal studies went really well. So like the trial studies went really well. So the whole government, like the government's like, okay, we'll buy all the. I think they made some kind of deal, and so I have another friend who put like hundreds of thousands of dollars into it.
Really? Has it gone up since last week?
No. Since last week, it's just been hovering.
hovering,
But this announcement, I think they're going to make an official announcement today.
I was always saying that if they had a medicine for COVID-19, they would get you through the lulls and get you through it more than the vaccine.
I think it's called beer.
It's beer?
I think it's called beer.
Soju?
I think it's beer or soju. I'm not sure.
Some of my cousins in the States got both of their shots already. So
And they're good?
yeah, well, I mean, so far so good. But
Cool.
Yeah.
I mean, like all these, like now in Korea, when you get both of your shots, they're going to give you like a certificate to put on your phone that says you've gotten both of your shots. But as of right now, you still have to, you still have to wear a mask. You still, if you leave, you still have to do the
Unless you're in
quarantine.
Texas.
Yeah. But I think eventually with that certificate, if it becomes successful and if we get closer to herd immunity, you're probably with that certificate, you're probably going to be able to jump lines and not do quarantine and stuff like that. Probably in the future.
I can see that.
Yeah.
I can see that happening.
I hope so.
No.
Make it easier to go home and stuff.
I think they said I was reading some stuff about the Olympics coming up, and they said that as of now they're not going to require all the athletes to get vaccinated. So it seems like the jury's still out by country, by state, by whatever.
Yeah, I read for the NBA. Silver was saying he's not going to make. They're not going to make. NBA is not going to make all the players.
There was
get
just
vaccinated.
some governor, I think, in Arkansas or Alabama that said that now people don't have to wear masks. Something. So that's
Idaho's going through something too.
Is it Idaho?
Yeah,
Okay.
Texas and then another Mississippi or one of those other states like nearby. They don't have to wear masks.
Yeah, it's a whole.
But
They got a
this-
lot of time on their hands.
But this was funny. Someone brought this up yesterday. I forgot who. It was a quote by someone, but that was against going. Saying we don't need to wear masks anymore. But they were saying Texas saying we don't need to wear masks is like someone pissing in the other side of the pool.
Yeah. It's
I
going
thought that
to come
was a
back.
funny
It's
quote.
going
I
to
thought
come
that was
back.
a funny quote.
Yeah.
But then we all piss, especially when we're younger. We all piss in the pool. So
And we all get pink eye.
Yeah. Thanks, John.
I never pissed in the pool.
you never did.
Liar.
At the beach. At the beach.
Beach, 100%. Yeah.
Because that keeps your wetsuit warm.
You
people
never
say,
pissed in
right?
the pool?
You're a liar.
I don't remember myself pissing in the pool.
You don't remember, but you did it. I mean, it's just every kid does it.
100%. You got to piss in the pool.
I don't remember. I don't recall it either.
Yeah.
I don't recall.
Really?
So you held it.
Oh, come
Yeah.
on.
I straight up took a shit in the ocean in Hawaii. I was like,
That was nice.
I was caught in the middle of the ocean, man, and I was like, oh shit, fuck, I'm not gonna be able to make it back to the bathroom. Drop trowel in the middle of the ocean, and I took a huge just shielding on.
Wait, hold on. What happens to the turd? Does it float up?
No,
Or does
that's
it
the thing. I was like, I didn't think, and this is huge banana log just floated to the top, and I was like, oh shit, I'm swimming away from it. Looked like a freaking.
But if I recall,
Sea monster.
I think you said that was the cleanest shit you ever
Oh,
took.
so clean. And it's like having a bidet already there because you're
You don't need to
swimming.
It's like you had a baby underwater.
Yeah,
and you shit in the water.
And you know when you have like one of those shits that's so clean, you barely need one wipe.
The one wiper?
Yeah, one wiper, courtesy wipe. That was just so clean and shielding.
That's a saltwater bidet right there.
Yeah.
Saltwater
Oh,
bidet.
yeah, you should have seen his face though. He was like, his face was like so happy.
Because you panic when you know the shino ga wandende.
Yeah.
And you know you're not gonna make it.
It gets even worse.
Yeah.
And there's
Start
times,
panicking.
man, there's a story. Oh, yeah, I don't want to. There's
Shit your pants stories. Dave, you ever shat your pants?
I did. I was 6 years old.
Yeah, I was in college.
7 years old.
I was
You were
in college when I did that. Yeah.
I was 6 years. I was 6 years old, and I thought I had a fart. So I just got to class. And I thought it was a fart, so I let it go, and it just right down my thigh.
don't they call that a shart? Or
It's a shart.
Shart.
It was, it was a major shart.
A shangu.
A shangu.
Yeah, it was
I never heard that.
That's great.
so embarrassed. Yeah.
Bobby, you ever shit your pants?
In the last 10 years.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh,
Was it drunk? Drunk?
It was.
I feel like alcohol had something to do with this.
No, it was like it wasn't outright shat my pants. It was I couldn't get to a bathroom in time, so I tried to shit in like a what do you call it, a sewer grate,
Oh my god!
and I missed, and I got I got some of it in my pants.
Oh yeah, because you didn't put it down
like
low
the
enough.
edge of
I
the
didn't
edge
get
of
it.
your.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
What about you, Eric?
Yeah, man.
So tell us about that.
This was like we were going to play ball, and I don't know what happened, but my stomach, like, I kind of like a bad.
He's
like,
got
my,
irritable bowels.
My brother knows. My stomach is like, if I gotta go, I gotta go.
Eric, how many shits do you take a day, real quick?
I don't know, probably like 4 or 5.
That's not normal. That's not normal.
Dude, your ass
I take
must
like one
be
a day.
chafed all day.
It's
I'm
like,
lucky if I get one a day.
Yeah.
I'm very regular.
Wow.
Like probably too regular. I
No
don't know.
fiber for this guy.
It's bad.
Oh, cool.
I take like a lot of shits. So like we were going to play hoop, and I was like, all right, I'm probably good. And I went twice this morning, and then I'm on the way, and my stomach just starts bubbling. I'm like, fuck. Like, I could probably hold it. But then, like, the first wave comes and you're like, got it. The second wave comes and you're like, fuck, can I get through it? And I was going into the gym, and then I was like, oh, there's a bathroom on the first floor. I'll go in there. And I went and asked the people for the code, and they're like, nah, you can't use the bathroom because you're not whatever. So I had to go downstairs. I went downstairs. Then the bathroom was locked. I had to go get the key, and I get the key, get there, and it was like,
couldn't lock your ass quick enough.
couldn't hold it.
Oh, man.
It was bad because like,
So it was in your pants?
so it was in my pants, and then like I was trying to like let it out, and it went all over the toilet. It was just bad. It was a bad situation.
Oh, man.
I had to clean all that shit up, and it was in my pants, right?
Yeah.
And I had to go play, and like the shit was already in my tights,
Yeah.
and I couldn't wash it. So I was like, if I go out there, it's not like I can be like, everyone's like, what the fuck is that smell?
Yeah.
So I had to run into the bathroom, take a shower, and wash my fucking clothes by hand before I went
With
to play.
shampoo.
A half hour later, you come from
Yeah. So I was like, are you ready
This
to play?
is common with
yeah,
Eric.
well, yeah, ready to
Yeah.
go.
Eric just disappears, and you're like, "Where do you go?" And I'm the only one who knows. I'm like,
Generally, yeah.
shitting somewhere. I don't know what the bathroom is.
That's awesome.
But if you take 5 shits a day, like on a
Yeah.
scientific level, does your food, when it's in your stomach, do you get any of the nutrients out of your food, or does it just go straight through?
Yeah, that's...
I don't know, probably not.
Oh, I don't know how that
Like
works.
most people's intestines are like shaped like this. I feel like Eric's is just like right to his butthole. Like, how does it get
Eric's
through
got
that?
a speed pass.
How does it get through that, man?
Have you been? Is it all your life you've been taking 4 or 5 shits a day?
All his life, man.
All your
Really?
life, even
All his
when you were
life.
younger. Really?
I've literally spent half of my free time when I was not in school waiting for him to get out of that. Like everywhere I go, Eric's like, and he'll always wait. We'll be chilling. Like right now, we're chilling, having a talk. Right before we're about to go somewhere, Eric would be like, hold on, I gotta take a shit. You could have shat like the whole time we were talking.
Your butthole must be so calloused over the years, man.
The best thing about coming to Korea is you got mood tissue, man.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It is.
But you can't use any kind of mood tissue. Like the other stuff, they got like chemical stuff in there, the ones for
yeah.
wiping the table. So you got to
Sting your
use the
butt.
baby ones.
I know that.
Okay.
That's you use the one that's got the disinfectant or any kind of thing, it burn the shit out of your ass.
Yeah,
I've made that mistake before.
Oh man, it's the worst.
We order them. They're called bidet mood tissue.
Use the baby one.
But those will clog your toilet, so don't use too many.
Oh,
or if
really?
you do it, put
Okay.
them in the Hujiton.
See, the funny thing is, I like bidets. Bidets are great. I'm not kind of used to it, but it's, you know how every industry has been like disrupted, right? But how come like the toilet paper industry, or like the shitting and wiping your ass industry, it's the same for like the past 200 years.
Basic human.
Stable one.
Yeah.
Basic human needs.
No, but
like,
something needs to change.
I've
There's
used the
gotta be-
bidet after John, actually. After John went in the bathroom, and I just noticed that the swap was at the top level. John, what's going on?
You use it after me? Oh, yeah. You know.
Turn it up to 10. This
like
is the
that.
shit.
Okay, but like
This
think
is
about
don't go hard
how
enough.
could you improve on toilet paper?
But there was like people could have said, "How can you improve on whatever?"
No,
And
I'm
people figure-
asking.
I don't know.
I'm asking what, like, okay, we can make a car better, more comfortable, whatever.
Yeah,
make
yeah,
the
yeah.
radio more, like, make the sound clear, whatever, right? But how do you improve on?
Okay, so for
on
example,
toilet paper.
okay, we'll start with something that's not the toilet paper. You know, like the way we sit down and shit. That's not the ideal position.
Right, I saw that
Shit.
Shark Tank.
Yeah, exactly.
Right.
You're supposed to squat. If you put your legs up and squat down on the bowl, right? That's the ideal position because it's just sitting down to shit. That's not.
But
That's not the ideal way.
that is not happening in America with so many people who are like older people with bad knees and
Yeah,
stuff.
yeah.
It's just not. It's not happening.
do this.
that thing on
Korean
Shark-
ajishis and Korean harmonies can do it.
That's
Like,
still-
'cause they
but that's
did-
still not going to solve the toilet paper.
Yeah, and now the paper-
There's other stuff around the toilet industry. I mean,
Yeah.
I can understand that you can improve some of these things. You know,
So
make them
maybe
taller,
maybe
whatever.
mood tissue. That's one way.
I mean, definitely an upgrade,
Your
but
socks,
it's not
another
like.
way?
I mean, baby wipes have been around for a
Socks?
long time.
You ever get stuck with no
Yeah,
tissue?
I've been
Use your
there, man.
socks.
Oh yeah. So I've used. So back to like a shit story. So this one time I was kind of drunk. I had to head somewhere, and I was kind of late, but I needed to take a shit. And then, like you guys said, you know, you can't. It's just sometimes it's coming out.
Yep.
Yeah.
So I just
there.
looked. I feel so bad looking back. This was about 9 years ago, I'd say. There was an apartment complex where the garage was open.
Oh man, you did
I
it.
went into the garage. I squatted next to a car, and I took a fat shit.
Oh no.
And I wiped with my boxers and threw it, kind of covered the shit up.
boxers?
with my boxers.
Can you imagine me the Kyungbi ajashi?
Yeah, that's why
Oh
I
my
feel
God.
bad for that. I just shit. It's something that I still feel terribly about.
He's still cussing.
This is in Korea? This is in Korea?
This is in Korea.
Oh, okay. Because I was thinking, if you're in the States, right, you come out and be like, who the fuck did this?
Yeah.
Like, who was going to take a shit on my car? But then Kim Kardashian's probably like, the same. Like
9 years ago. It's lucky it's 9 years ago. Nowadays, that would have been on CCTV
Yes.
for sure.
Yeah. So
Or a
Even
black
then,
box.
though.
Black box on the car.
Yeah.
Right,
But yeah, I felt that's something I still feel bad about. But like,
I think though there's a
not
question
wearing
to like I went vegan for 2 years, and I will tell you, because of my diet, like I had ghost shits every day.
Yeah.
Like
I've
you
been there,
poop,
done that.
and then you wipe and there's nothing on the paper.
yeah.
Like so maybe there's a way we can take a pill or something where we always have like, I don't know, like, you know, what is it, the what's that stuff that
Probiotics.
like probiotics, something
Yeah.
like that. Yeah, maybe there's like a pill you could take.
There's stuff that you
makes
could
your-
take to make you some more regular.
Yeah.
They have that. They come in a little
Digestive.
powder.
Yeah, digestive.
powder.
I take probiotics, and then but I definitely when me and Eric went vegan, I noticed that like everything was just cleaner and just more fibrous.
Yeah.
Like nothing sloppy, like from eating sundubuchige and like shinramen, like you get like some sloppy
Well, it's
stuff.
like, I think me and my brother were talking about this one time. It's like, there's not a lot of foods that like when you take a shit, you can't really tell what it is, right? But when you eat McDonald's, you know you fucking ate
It
McDonald's.
still smells like McDonald's when it
fucking
comes
shit
out.
smells like McDonald's.
A McDonald's shit.
and
Really?
if you're for me, if I'm eating bad, if I'm not eating well and clean, like it's just the day after and for the next couple of days, my shit is just it's not nice. It's
greasy,
just very
gross.
just no good shit, and you have to wipe like 100 times and shit.
Tell us about your shit stories.
This is
Way to wrap that up. That was
wow.
nice. That was nice.
We've literally spent a half hour talking about shit.
All right,
Let's
time for a
segue.
little- Okay,
No, I'm not done.
okay, go. So I was watching. I watch a bunch of different podcasts, and I Am Athlete, right? Maybe a couple weeks ago, all the guys were kind of like checking in, right? It was right after Vincent Jackson passed away, and then for 3 days they said no one like checked up on him, so he was dead in his hotel room for 3 days without anyone knowing, right? And so they were talking about that because those guys were contemporaries, so they knew him. And some of them knew him really well. They had just texted the week before and stuff. So, they were kind of shaken up. So one thing that, we've known each other for a while, but we don't like check in with each other about, the different areas, I mean, I'm sure you two do because you guys are brothers and, you guys talk like every day, see each other every day. But like, I just wanted to do a little check-in, not just, the work, the relationships and those kinds of things, but like, just mentally, like psychologically, how are you guys doing? And what you do when you're if you're down, what do you do to pick yourselves up? And just wanted to kind of spend a little time checking in and seeing how we're doing, kind of,
It's tough, man. I mean, it's like one of the hard things about that kind of stuff is like the amount of stuff that we have to deal with on a daily basis. Like your mental health and all those things that you're talking about right now are like so far down the ladder of like priorities. It's like it's not that it's not important. But like when you have like a time, like say you get like 5 minutes to just breathe and kind of relax, like all you're thinking about is that time that you're like, man, I just want to like just not think about anything, and it's tough because like, I mean, everyone's dealing with something. I mean, like times are tough,
Yeah.
and then
Especially with COVID too.
yeah, with
Making it
COVID, I
work.
mean, just like life in general. I mean, even if COVID wasn't here, it's not like life is easy. I mean, there's stresses that happen every day, and
So how are you? Like, how are you doing? Like, just in different areas. Like,
yeah,
what
I mean,
would you?
I think I'm all right. I mean, like it's tough. Like, you get older, your time like constraints are different than they used to be. You don't get to see people like you used to. Responsibilities change, like time management changes. And then also just getting older, like you don't have the energy that you did, So trying to find a way to up those energy levels, do what you did before, be as productive, be more efficient, Yeah, I mean, I don't know. I think I'm doing all right, but like not like I don't have stress or concerns or things that are going on in my life too,
And your mother-in-law's here right now, right?
Yeah, my mother-in-law. I mean, she's like awesome. Honestly, like she's really supportive. Like a great cook. I think it's really good for Sonya too. Because she's really close with her mom. But Yeah, like she doesn't really add like a lot. So she's really, really awesome. Like I think I'm really blessed to have such a great mother-in-law who like all she wants to do is make sure that we're happy.
She brought us some bomb cookies from Europe, man. Yeah. So man, those cookies are almost gone. She got us 2 boxes.
What kind of cookies are there? What's the flavor?
She brought like waffle, caramely waffle.
Yeah, she brought some waffles.
Something different. It's nice.
And then she made a whole bunch of food and
great with coffee.
You know, and brought a whole bunch of stuff for Dan and for you know, the babies and stuff too.
I think with the mental health thing, it's always a disconnect between how your life actually is and what you want it to be, right? So like, say you're in a relationship and you're kind of down because your relationship is a certain way, but you wish it was, I wish she would like, you know, do this for me, or I wish she would allow me to go see my friend, or like whatever it is, it's always some kind of like a frustration or something that kind of builds, and it doesn't have to be super big. Like for me, it's like the double-edged sword between, you know, having kids is great, but then it's a lot of responsibility. So a lot of the things that I'm used to doing, the way I've lived my life, like, you know, it's like I need to be there for my kids. So like I can't like go see all my friends or be as social as I used to be. So I think if anything for me, there's a little bit of like that underlying frustration, but there's really nothing to do. And then we got this big project coming up in May. And then so at that time, my wife's going to take the 2 kids to Hawaii because I'm going to be really busy at that time. And then it's like, then I'll get like quote unquote what I wanted. And then I'm worried about that because I'm going to miss my kids like crazy. You know, I'll miss all the stupid shit that they do. Like,
how long are you planning to be apart from the family?
Like maybe like a month or so. Okay. Just, you know, and it'll be great for them to be in Hawaii. See, mother-in-law's great with the kids, and Sonny will be, you know, a lot. She'll be able to like get rid of all her stress, you know, from, you know, just all the changes in Korea. So, I mean, it's good and bad, but I think just everybody has like something that they wish would be different, and then a lot of times it's once you get what you want, then you're gonna be, you know, you're gonna want it back the way it was. You know, it's just.
I think you kind of hit on the head. It's like the main frustrations like kind of center around managing expectations. Of like what you had, what you want, and where you are. You know, like there's those 3 different things.
But what do you do when there's something that you want? Then you work towards it, or?
Yeah, of course, but then you like it's not like it was before when it's just different now. You know, like whatever you want, like maybe you could put 100% of your effort into it, right? Now maybe I can only give 20%, and that'll frustrate me, but I have to deal with that. You know, so it's like these kind of things will give you stress because you're like, man, I wish I could give this more time, but I don't have that time.
Or sometimes you just got to accept it. Like for me, it's the slow surrender of just accepting that, hey, you know, I'm a dad now. So like, you know, I see like a lot of people, especially like social media, you see, oh man, I wish I could go out and hoop with them at night. No, nighttime hoops is always fun. And then afterwards you get the chimek and all that. I like that whole social experience, but then it's like, yeah, but you know, if I used to do that 5 times a month, do it like once a month, you know, talk to my wife and do it like once a month. You just got to like slowly start to just accept it, not do it and just be like, oh, I wish I could go, but really like, and that process takes different times for different people, you know?
I'm going through that. I think this is a great conversation that I need to hear right now because I'm trying to figure out how to manage my time better in terms of like helping me mentally and my hair's falling out. I just found out.
I'm the same way. I'm going to clinic right now.
Really?
Yeah.
I don't know what
you should come to my clinic.
Yeah. Like my hair, if you can see right here, like somewhere here.
Yeah, I need to go to your clinic too because I got my bald spot.
Oh, you got
Oh, I see it.
I see it.
To the right. It's to the right.
I don't. So
barely though. Barely. You can barely.
Bobby, you should come to my spot.
Yeah, right?
So
it's right there.
Oh yeah, I see it.
The spot I go to.
Are you getting injections?
I got it. I got last Monday. I went in and
go every week.
They got like a few. They put a few in, and they said come back
too.
soon.
It comes back really quick, but it hurts.
My
like
bald spot's been there for about a year and a half, so I need to hurry up and go.
You should go get shots.
Yeah. I guess I need to.
I think those ones are a little bit different, maybe when it's just like the one spot,
like a
silver dollar.
Yeah. Mine's just more more
overall,
but just recently, and I don't know if it was because I got a bad perm that fried my scalp, or if it's probably a lot of it's due to the stress of just like moving and the kids and all that kind of stuff. But the place I go to is dope, man. It's like an hour where they do like microneedling and stuff. It's like a facial for your scalp.
Dude, I want, yeah.
And you basically just sit there and get scalp massage for like an hour, laser, all that kind of stuff. This is pretty cool.
Awesome.
Wait, so back to so you got your hair's falling out, and then so you're
Yeah, but I just like, I think I'm really, really bad with time management. You know, I have the kid, the job, the work, the music, the film, like all this stuff, and I just don't know how to. Maybe it's I'm losing touch with what to prioritize. I know it's my son and family, but like,
do you think there's certain things that you need to just cut out? Like for me, it's like cutting out a lot of the extracurricular, like basketball and social stuff.
It's not just that, but it's also like getting back things that were in my life that were, you know, healthy, like meeting up with friends.
Yeah.
Like I'm losing touch with a lot of friends actually that were like a support base for me.
Yeah.
So I just don't have time anymore.
are they? I mean,
Same,
I'm sure they're
same.
understanding of you or of.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like I'm like I got like this scarlet
Letter.
D on me. Dad. Like, and none of my friends call me out anymore. So they're like, "Oh, Dad, he's busy with the kid," or you know.
Yeah.
So I see them on Instagram, like, "Oh man, I wish they."
You guys are living my
So you
former
feel
life.
left out when that happens?
No, I get it. You know.
Yeah.
It's usually early on they asked me to come out, but then it was always a no because I can't figure out, you know, like how to find time for it. So.
Yeah, my phone activity is dead. If I used to get like messages like every weekend, now it's just like silence, like just what does it sound like this in the weekends?
Yeah, seriously. I know
Phone
what you
is
mean.
no activity.
I feel you.
It's hard too, because like even just like a couple weeks ago, I was like looking through what was going on, and like little by little, your schedule just gets busy with a whole bunch of shit. You're like, why the fuck am I doing this?
Yeah.
Or like what am I doing? You know, and then little by little, you gotta like, you know, just for me personally, I went through and I was like, okay, like I probably don't need to see this young.
Yeah.
Or like, okay, this is important. If I take the subway, that's 2 hours. I should probably just take my motorcycle, or I should probably drive, or like just to try to like make my life a little bit less stressed. And it's helped me a lot too. And then also like I started working out every day at the same time to give myself one thing that I knew I was gonna do every day.
Yeah.
But like it's difficult because like the older we get, the more things are pulling us in all these different ways.
Sure.
And it's like periodically we have to just look, you know, take account of our life and be like, what's necessary and what's unnecessary. And like that's different for everybody.
I like this. I forgot who said it, but hell yes or no. I talked to you about this, right? Like now, many times, if it's something that's going to take a significant amount of time, but you could apply. But you could apply it to smaller things. But I always think unless it's a hell yes, it's a no. Because I always had the hardest time, and like I'd always say yes to so many things when I was younger, and then like I don't have time for myself to develop the things that I need to develop. So it's like unless it's hell yes, it's like no.
When me and my brother like finished playing ball, one of the things that we struggled with was like, shit, we got all this time. You know, like people are like, hey, you want to do this? Okay, yeah, why not? Shit, I got time now. Like I was in the Souk Club for fucking 10 years. Like, yeah, I got time. You want to do something? Let's go. And then, you know, people are like thinking that you're always available, you know, and then we're like, fuck, like now we got to start
saying no.
And so like I struggle with that a lot because it was easy and I always said yes. And then one of the hardest things about like for me, like becoming an adult, I guess, is fucking learning how to say no.
And that's the most important thing, to be able to say no.
The road to success is to be able to say no to certain things and say yes. Focus on.
But the no's are going to far outnumber the yes. Yeah, you know. Yeah.
How about you, Dave?
How are you?
Yeah, I mean, allocating my time.
By the way, did you just fart?
No.
Okay, I just felt like a like a vibration.
Måste missing thing again. Yeah, I just started Korean class 3 times a week.
Nice.
So I'm allocating that in, but it's really been good. Like I learned a lot of new words, and I can't believe I haven't been doing this the last 3 years, but it's been good. And I'm just trying to focus. I haven't been spending as much time as I need to on my role. I got 2 weeks, which is good, but I need to really focus and get that down.
You're working on a drama right now, 조선 구마사.
Yeah. So it's not like I'm not working on it, but it's like I'm pulled away from certain. I just need to focus. Yeah, that's good. But you know, I think trying to allocate how I'm going to see my family. I haven't seen them in a long time, so I'm trying to figure that out. But
it's hard these days. You got to go to Hawaii and then where to Montana?
Montana, England. It's just.
When you plan in like April or something?
When
right?
this drama's done, I'll go away for a while. Yeah, but I think I'm doing all right. I gotta get better at Korean. Like dude, it's ridiculous. So I'm really happy. I'm thankful I met this guy. He's tutoring me now.
Found the right tutor
via Zoom. Yeah, he's good dude. Yeah,
It's good, man.
He's making it fun. See, I'm not a textbook guy. I can't study through textbooks. It just doesn't work. So we're doing conversational Korean, and it's really sticking. Like Myeong-sung, how to meditate. I remember that. 솔직히 말하면, like to be honest, I can use those things in sentences now.
You do use you use them a lot more.
Yeah, but using them, like we had a dinner last Friday, and then I was like, could put some sentences together. So it's really good. It's really positive.
Yeah, I notice it's improving, so it's good.
I like to speak a little bit nowadays. It's cool.
You do
About
the Zoom.
time.
You do Zoom with someone in Korea.
In Korea.
Okay.
Yeah.
Nice.
It's reasonable.
Chris Pemberton teaches Korean.
He does. Right?
I just saw something on his like Facebook that
He teaches Korean.
He was doing like a workshop. Chris Pemberton speaks great Korean.
I knew he did, but
he's crazy good at it. Maybe hit him up because
I should hit him up.
He was doing. I don't know if he's
makes
doing it
fun.
on. Yeah, he's super. He's just a fun guy. But it's also like, I don't know if it was a workshop that he was doing one time or if he's doing it like continually. But definitely just see what's up. It might be a good thing because especially because he came from America, so he kind of knows like, and he learned it. It's not like he grew up speaking.
Yeah.
So he learned it. So
he knows the process. So it's
Yeah.
easier to teach that
There you
process
go.
by which he learned. Yeah. No.
Yeah, it's cool.
Other than that, you're mentally, psychologically, everything. How you doing?
Pretty good.
Yeah, you don't really have too many down moments. It feels, which is
Me?
Yeah. Like what I'm saying are like the super down. Like there's within a normal range, or like you're like this, but then I haven't seen you like
The moments.
Yeah.
Once in a while. Once in a while, I get those. But yeah.
But there's always moments that other people don't see, like the really dark moments, right? Because when I was first in Korea, this is the first time in my life when, like 10 years ago or 11 years ago, when I actually contemplated suicide, right? Where I actually thought about it. That's why I don't have.
What was going on?
I'll talk about that in a bit, but because I don't want to just skip over Dave. But yeah.
Oh, I'm good.
During those times, I just, it's like now that I'm a little older, I'm able to accept things like perhaps that didn't turn out, or like just see what I'm working towards and just keep working. But back then, I didn't have like the tools in place and the way to think. Like the way my mind worked, just bunch of everything was kind of more raw, and I didn't know how to like deal with emotions, deal with like expectations, deal with disappointments, deal with like all these things, and I was just going through like just money wise, everything was just tough, and it was the first time I felt like, oh shit, like what if I killed myself? Like how would that be? What would that and what? So now, I mean, and I wasn't at the point like where some people where they actually like they're on the edge of the bridge. It's like fuck, I wasn't at that point, but like I had some serious conversations in my mind. So that's why I'm more understanding of people like who go through that or who have committed suicide. When I was younger, I'd be like, fucking idiot or whatever, right? But now it's like, okay, I've kind of been there. I've never fully been there. I've never, slit my wrist or anything. But
so when you were going through those times, because I know, like, one of the things that I've been really thankful for is that, like, I've had my brother with me the whole way.
Yeah.
Having a support system, someone that does know you and understand you and is always going to be there for you is huge. So when you went through this time, like, was there someone that you could, like, lean on? Or did you just pull yourself out by yourself?
I think it definitely didn't help that all my, like, childhood friends and stuff and my brothers or, like, family, I was all alone. So I don't think that helped. There was a part of it that I and my girlfriend, there's certain connections, but there's always things where you can't connect. But that's no matter what situation, right? At that time, like 9 years, 10 years, right? So I think I felt alone. But as you get older, you realize, well, life, that's kind of life, right? You are alone, There was a moment when I realized, like, even my brothers, right, where I realized that I'm not their priority, obviously, right? Because their family is their first priority. We're really tight. I have 2 older brothers. We just we just video chatted today. But, it's just knowing that, you have your life, they have their life too. And their priority is their kids, their family, right? Not me, obviously. But then, when you first realize that, it's like, oh shit, I'm kind of alone.
Yeah.
So there were times like that. Now, so talking about now, yeah,
How did you fight out over that?
I think for me, I guess for me there were I don't know the time frame exactly, but what's helped a lot is being able to deal with like being able to not dwell on stuff that you can't fix or you can't help, right? Because so many people dwell on like stupid shit that you can't even do anything about, right?
Yeah, like you'd be frustrated every day if you keep thinking about that.
Think about like things that you can't change, right? And so it's just focusing on the little things that you can do. I think that's what the older I get, and especially now, it's like accepting whatever it is, right? That wherever you are, and then just working. Like there's a program that I'm doing because of Danny. You know how Danny comes once in a while that he got me into, and they talk about, and a lot of people talk about this, the mini wins, the little wins, right? Sometimes having big goals is great. To have an overarching goal, but then in order to get there, you need to have like daily mini steps that you can just like even in one day
to gain that momentum.
10 victories, just 10 little things that you could do to get towards that instead of like some overwhelming goal that's so abstract that you can't fucking get there.
It's like is it a course you're taking or what is it?
Actually, it's a thing called it's a coaching course, right? It's a year-long coaching course. It's called Optimize. But so they say the people that are taking it, about half the people do it to become coaches themselves, and half are people just who want to have better tool sets for
coaches, like life
coaches and stuff.
That sounds interesting, man.
There's a lot that I'm learning. So many good tool sets, toolkits, like that I can apply to my life, and I fucking love it. But it's been great. And for me, it's not like I'm trying to be some life coach, but I think it's going to help in other areas.
Hey, whether you call it a life coach or whether you are or not, like that kind of information support system, whether it comes from you or someone else, like it's important. Everyone needs that.
It's massive.
Yeah, because like we walk through life without having these tools, like unless you had some really awesome parents or awesome people who taught you these things. I didn't have that. So like it's good learning these things.
I don't know if most people have.
I think definitely like our generation, it was either like you're crazy or you're not. And now we understand it's a spectrum. Like we all have, and it was like if you're crazy, you're just like, no, I'm not crazy. It's like there's this whole like stigma, right? But to know that we're all like some people need medication and they're manic or whatever you want to call it, but we all are kind of on that spectrum. Like we all can get into depression. We're all a little ADD. We're all a little bit OCD. All these like terms that are kind of like, oh, you're OCD. Like, when we were growing up, I think you just want to be normal. Like you don't want to be the crazy kid or the stinky kid or like whatever. So if anyone says, hey, you feeling, you look sad. No, I'm good. Like the first reaction, the knee-jerk reaction is to let everybody know I'm fine, I'm normal. And I don't know if it's more of a male thing too. Yeah. But
it's the weakness. You don't want to be vulnerable.
Yeah. And I think now.
I got a problem. You got a problem.
Yeah. No, why? Are you cool? You're the one with the problem. But I think now, like, I think people are more comfortable opening up and be like, yeah, man. Like a lot of NBA players too, who we look at as like superheroes, they're opening up about like depression, like Kevin Love, like who's the guy, Ben Gordon.
Even Paul George talked about having a little depression in the bubble and stuff.
Right. And it's just normal because we're all human.
On the women's side.
Yeah. I'm all about like I'm down with being vulnerable because shit, what's there to like front about? You know, like we're all weak, we all have problems.
Well,
why do I
the
need to
worst
hide
thing
mine?
about fronting about it and pretending that you're fine when you're not is that you don't get help. Like you don't work on the problem. Like even if it's just like listening to the right podcast or listening to things that can motivate you and help you. If you're always saying like, bro, don't look at me, I'm fine, you're never gonna get something that actually like improve your life.
Well, it's interesting because like people say that about like early diagnosis for say like cancer or diabetes. Oh, you should go get checked. You should go get checked. You should take care of yourself. Eat healthy, right? But then when it comes to your mental health, people are like, whoa, like hey, like you know, I got this. I'm good. Like don't worry. Like take care of just take care of your own life. But if it is if it's something that you need to like think about, which it is. Like, why don't people take the same precautions? Like you're saying, like check up on people and be like, hey, how is your mental health all right? Because back in the day when we grew up, it was more like, if you ask someone a question like that, they're like, hey, get the fuck out of my business. Well, you think I'm fucking crazy?
Yeah.
Like, worry about yourself.
Yeah, it's not that way. Or it's like, you got Vietnam vets coming back with like PTSD or something. You're like, okay, I get
untreated, and how many of those led to disasters?
Or like anything, but it's like simple conversations and like just checking up and doing, simple checkups like just like this. I think this is really healthy. It can maybe make you like think about something or realize something, or just let you know that there are people out there that care about you, which is huge. Because like you said, like a lot of it, like we've all had points in our life where we felt alone. We're like, man, you know what? I don't even know I could talk to about this. Or like, no one understands what I'm going through. But there is someone out there, that does know, understand, or is just willing to hear. And that's important for people to know.
Right on.
Yeah, pretty much everything that we're going through, someone else, even like 500 years ago.
We're not so original.
Yeah, even 500 years ago, even 1,000 years ago, has felt something similar. Obviously, they didn't have Instagram back then, but their form, that's very similar. Like they've gone through these emotions.
Absolutely.
So yeah.
Also, Instagram and all that stuff. Like there's filters and there's all this like. Come on, your life isn't that great. People are starting to realize like, everything is like
so curated.
Yeah, it's curated. It's made to be looked at as perfect. Right. I almost wish there was something else where it's like no filters allowed. Like
Shitstagram or something
like that. Where people just honest.
Well, it's also because we're so tribal. We always compare ourselves to each other. Like humans are not designed to live alone. Like we all try to be like this rugged loner that lives out in a cabin in the woods. We're tribal people. So regardless, we're going to look at what the next person's doing. Back in the day, they used to say keeping up with the Joneses.
Yeah.
Now it's just keeping up with the whole fucking world on Instagram and Facebook. So you see these carefully curated things like, wow, everyone else is working out and motivated and being so successful and the best parents. The parenting ones are crazy because come on, dude. Like, and then everyone's trying to be like them. It's like, dude, no.
I get sucked into it also, though. Yeah. Like, I'll only post like good moments.
Right,
like, I rarely post him like yelling his head off.
But then you know what it is? Like Instagram's like a flex, right?
Yeah,
it's like big time flex.
Sure,
like,
sure.
Oh, look at me, I'm on my yacht, fucking throwing $100 bills into the fucking ocean. Wow, that's dope. I hope I can maybe get my YouTube following up so I can also make $1 million a day. Follow these 3 easy steps and. But then it's like, and then you see the guy that's that really famous YouTuber or whatever. He's like Instagram versus real life.
Yeah.
And you're like, oh, this guy's so real. Look, he even posts the thing where his room isn't made or whatever. But it's like that's also not real. So it's like people will need to be able to separate that flex from reality. Because Instagram isn't real life, but for a lot of people, it has become like an obsessive.
Yeah. But when they're creating this, are they making little wins? So when they create this vibe for themselves mentally, are they creating wins for themselves in their life in a positive way?
You hope so. I think there's probably people that
in their own way.
For sure.
Right.
But that's a good way to think about it. When you're whatever you're doing, try to the mini wins.
But it's so interlaced. This whole thing with social media is very interlaced, right? Yeah. It's very complex.
Yeah.
It's a front, but is it a front? Is it mini wins? Is it sharing? Is it caring? Well, I don't know.
What's funny? If you watch that Netflix documentary about, what was it about? About the social media dangers? Social dilemma. There you go. Yeah. They talked about, they interviewed the guy who he was one of the creators of the like button, right? Because he was an early Facebook engineer.
Yes.
And he was saying, we created it like as a good thing to help people motivate each other, right? To be positive. and it's turned into, there's a negative consequence that arose from it. Like people like waiting, oh, why don't they like my fucking video?
I think one of the takeaways with that was for younger girls, how the suicide rate for younger girls that get their smartphone, the point they get their smartphone, it's like exponentially growth with girls having like depression, lower self-image.
That makes me so sad.
Because we do compare. It's just, it's not like they're like, you can teach that away and be like, don't compare. You can say it 1,000 times, but it's in our DNA as humans. We want to be part of this tribe, right? This tribe of, and before it was just our family, maybe our community. Now it's like the whole world is judging and comparing and judging and comparing. And that's a lot to unleash on a younger girl who's looking for approval.
Well, I mean, look at like these guys, like say like a LeBron James type individual, or say the president of the United States. Millions of eyes are watching this person, and they have trouble dealing with it.
Yeah,
and they've been curated, educated.
They're the most equipped to deal with it.
Exactly. They have the best system to deal with this worldview. Then you got some 14-year-old girl that just got her smartphone and is like, hey, I want to like introduce myself to Facebook, and they're like, "Oh, you gonna post that fucking picture? Like, what are you, anorexic? Go fucking eat it." And then like you got the whole world just fucking combing at her, like she just not even hit puberty, and then like these people are just not equipped to handle this kind of stuff. And you see people all over the world that are equipped or have a support system, and they can't deal with it. Like,
and that's the thing is like a parent. You know, if you're walking your kid to school and someone says something mean to your kid, you can go and beat up their dad, right? Or you can do something and make sure that, hey, there's consequences to what you say. How do you do that on the internet? You know, they're on the internet, and even if you say, hey, stop talking to my daughter or stop talking to my son like that, neener, I'm an anonymous avatar, you know?
For example, like
with a burner account.
One of the last games in the season, and like Sonya had a pretty like bad game. And then all the people that were betting on the game, like her DMs and her like comments were like, it was over 100, like just hundreds of like messages came in, like all kinds of just vicious stuff, right? And then you click on the accounts and it's like 0 posts, 0 friends. They're all like burner accounts. They're connecting to other burner accounts, and they're like
making special accounts just to talk shit.
Like people are like going like all through these other different vehicles to like basically just come out there and shed bad negativity on people for and
those are people too,
and you can't find these people. Like another one of our friends that has a YouTube channel, some people were like saying bad things about his family and parents, right? But to find these people is a huge ordeal. So like now they're having to like create other policy to limit or find people that are posting negative things. So it's like it's creating like a whole different kind of thing where, I don't know.
That's tough.
Yeah, you put yourself out there, and then you open yourself up for criticism. But now people aren't even being human. If you don't like it, why comment?
It's kind of like an interesting thing. I think Twitter they're doing like a new policy where they're going to limit like some of that stuff like on Twitter, and then a lot of people are saying like, screw it, I don't want to be on Twitter anymore. And it reminds me of when I was living in Mexico for a little bit. People would go to watch the Mexican wrestling, the luchadores, and they wear the mask, and people come to drink beer and hurl insults at the wrestlers, and it just kind of throw beer at them, throw popcorn at them, you know what I mean? It's just like a freaking like, not even necessarily.
Sounds like a good stress relief sometimes.
That's what it is, right? And I think social media in a lot of ways for these people who are unhappy, they'll just hurl insults on, and I think it releases their stress. And then I think the difference is Mexico, those wrestlers, they know that's like the thing, right? And so everybody leaves and they're fine. On social media, it's like a disease that gets passed because you throw all this negativity at somebody, and they're like, "Fuck, what did I do?" And then they carry it around with them, and it's gonna probably manifest itself probably in a bad way, like whether it's you just yell at somebody for no reason, that's probably a loved one, or because you're holding that negativity gets passed one way or another.
Because there's no immediate consequence, right? Like, so when if you hurl an insult at someone on, let's say, someone's Facebook wall, and you don't know them, and it's a burner account, whatever, then you can totally like,
sorry, that was an accident.
You can just like get away with not having the consequence of seeing their actual face, like where you can see that their feelings are hurt, like I think it was Louis C.K. who said it, where kids these days they'll text each other and be like, "You're fat," and we're like, "Oh, that felt good." The kid's like, "Oh, that felt good." Like because they didn't see that kid's face. They just saw a screen.
Yeah.
Right. But if you say, if the kid says it to the kid's face, you're fat, and then they cry, they're like, oh no, what did I say wrong?
Yeah,
like
for sure.
They don't learn empathy. Like there's this whole like step of like human interaction that is just lost. But that goes on so many levels.
Yeah.
To even adults who have experienced that, like they're losing touch with, human like empathy and
Wait, so how did Sonya deal with that?
Screamed at Eric.
She just went out
Made
there
Eric do a bunch of chores.
went out there and won the championship, just to like, prove to them that, it's their right to it's not right for them to post what they posted, but it is their right to have a opinion on what's going on. Like any human. So as an athlete, you're a public figure, you open yourself up to this stuff. So what she did was she just turned off the comments. You can't comment on every pictures anymore.
Yeah.
Which kind of like helped, a bit, but it's like when there's money involved and people are gambling, it's unfortunate part of the business, but she it's sad that that's out there where these guys would
because these are real people. Like I remember you had a hater that would post on your wall. Remember?
I was just thinking about that.
Yeah, and it's like, what a fucking dick. But then that actually affects the person, right? Because they're a fucking human being.
Right.
No, like so. This is just how it's like spreading a disease, right? So the other day at our daycare, my wife's dropping off 2 kids. There's no parking, so she parks it, puts the blinkers on, and goes up. And 5 minutes later, she comes back, gets the car, and goes. There's a guy waiting out in front of the car, and Ajashi. She blocked him in, which is in our apartment. It's an older apartment. That's normal, right? You just put it in neutral and move the car. Anyways, she was calling him, like she took it to another level, because she's Kyopo, obviously, when you hear her talk and all that kind of stuff. And he's this older guy screaming at her because she's by herself and just doing like, like this kind of stuff. Like, you don't have to do that. And the first thing she said, she was like, "Oh, 죄송해요, 그냥 어린이집 때문에." And then, so like, I heard that and I just lost it. There's nothing to do. I'm in the house. I hear the story and I just get really angry. Like, I want to find this guy. So today, before I came here, I dropped my kids off at Orange and she's like, "That's the car, the BMW." And just to the negativity, I didn't do anything. There's no outlet for it. But I just imagined in my head taking a baseball bat to that car. You know what I mean? That's how angry that made me. And I was just like, "Oh, I want to put a note on his car." And she's like, "What would you put?" And I was like, "I want to talk to you."
Yeah, like just call me.
Yeah, call me. I want to talk to you. Because I really want to, I wish you, and in my head, you can go through all these scenarios. I was like, I hope he just, by the time I come out, I hope I see him trying to open his car.
So like, the guy.
And you just think about stuff. And that's bad. Like, I shouldn't be, that's negativity that hasn't been dissipated. It's just in the world. It's still in me, obviously.
In that same situation, right? So like that car was there. They called me, right?
Oh yeah. They called you.
They called me to figure out what's going on with the car, and I was like, "Oh, well, let me call my my brother's wife to see what's going on." And then Sonny went and told. And so I heard the story. I think before you heard it, I think you were working. And so Sonny went out, and this guy was like yelling at her, and she's trying to be like, "Hey, look, I made a mistake. I'm sorry. I don't know what else I can do. Let me move the car." And then the guy that was trying to get out was like being a complete ass, being rude and
like, what can you do now?
You don't have to like hurl insults and like,
moving the car.
Curse words and whatnot. But then that negativity brewed where another lady that wasn't even involved was there, and then also started yelling at Sonny.
And so she's getting ganged up.
So it's like you see like this
Korean
negative situation,
and we're neighbors.
And this lady that's not even involved in the situation came and was like yelling at Sonny. So it's like
that's crazy.
And also,
it's like, why is it like if there's all this negative situation going on, you want to join in the negativity? It's like there's something like just wrong about that. Where like you see something bad going on, you want to go over and be like, yeah, what the fuck is wrong with you? So you don't even know what's going on. Like what? Like it's like
it doesn't even affect you.
Like, but why? What is it? What's inside you that you see something like this, and then you want to jump in and piggyback that, and then make this.
She's probably carrying some other negativity.
Exactly. So I feel
else.
like it's just like everyone has so much like hurt and pain inside.
It's terrible, man.
That needs to be dealt with, man.
I think, especially being here, a lot of times you'll have these fights, and you can't reason with.
No, you can't.
And the best way is to be like, "You're a fucking clown." And have a nice day. That's the hardest thing to do, but it is probably the best thing in Korea because they're just fucking clowns.
Or wherever you are.
But it's like our internal need for justice.
Yeah.
Like even if you say, "Okay, whatever, man," and leave, on your drive home, you're gonna be like, oh, I should just punch him in the shoe nugget. I should just fucking punch him in the balls.
Right? That's the pain that you have to try to let it go.
We've talked about this. When someone does something to you, there lots of times it shows you more about what they have inside of them, not about you.
Yeah.
Right? When some negative shit.
But that's my point is they put that in you by doing that.
Yeah.
Even a little bit of that, whatever, you carry it with you. You're going to think about it on the drive home. So how do you like safely dissipate that within yourself? Because right now, I still want to find that out.
Okay. So what would be more on the stress level of 1 to 10 if you actually now engage and you have to have this conversation with this?
I would love to catch him.
But then sometimes these conversations will raise your shit even higher.
True.
Right? So it's like if you can like clown, there's a clown, let me walk away. I'm curious.
I wish it was like on your desktop, there's a Hugie tone and like you can just put it away and like, are you sure you want to delete it? Yes, delete this out of my chest. Yeah. But there's got to be a healthy way to do it. And I think a lot of times like when you meditate and you do all this kind of stuff, it kind of like you stop thinking about it for a second, but sometimes it resurfaces though, right? Like, how do you get rid of that stuff? How do you permanently delete those files?
I kind of regret it the way I did it, but the guy who lives in front, this Ajashi who built anyway.
There's always an Ajashi.
He's a dick, but I dealt with it by one day because he's just yelling at everybody. He's just he's just like a parking Nazi, right? And I just said, hey, idiot. What's up, idiot? Like I just kept calling him idiot. Mm-hmm. And he's shorter, skinny dude. He came up to my face. I'm like, hit me, idiot.
You call him a pabo?
In English. I said, what's up, idiot? Oh. Hi, idiot.
Okay, he speaks English.
He knows. And it just got him more mad, right? I didn't join him on the, with the dirty. I just kind of smiled. I said, what's up, idiot? I don't recommend that.
No,
I was a dick for doing it. Like, regardless of how much of a dick he was, whatever. I was an idiot for doing that, but like, I don't regret it, but it felt nice to just combat that.
Get a little bit of it out,
with just kind of.
There's got to be like some way because there's all this stress, frustration, especially living in Korea. Like I've dealt with a lot more here than I think we can safely say we dealt with outside of Korea.
Yeah.
Just like weird stuff that just kind of just like,
just weird stuff out here.
It doesn't bother you at the beginning, but then daily, just that little poking every day, then it becomes something you're like, all right, look, I've had enough, But there's got to be a way to deal with it, like in a manner somewhat like that,
healthy way,
in a healthy way, just to get rid of that stress.
Everyone has pain. I just think like this doesn't have to do with that program I'm doing, right? It just has to do with everyone just has a lot of shit that they're dealing with. That you see those quotes that no one knows about. Everyone's fighting their own battle.
Yeah.
So like
that's it though. Pick your battles, right? So if this person doesn't mean anything to you, it doesn't mean anything to you. Right. And it's like
that's important.
Because as a thought experiment, let's say you see that Ajashin, you beat the shit out of him, right?
It's not going to help.
So how much is that going to help you?
It's going to cost me a lot of money.
Yeah, I mean,
well, and the whole thing is like with me too. It's easier for me to like deal with stuff that happens to me. If the Ajashi would have yelled at me, I probably would have been better equipped to just
tell him.
I would have been just right in that moment. I would have just been like, "What do you want me to do? Stop talking to me like that." And we can talk like gentlemen, right?
Yeah.
But because it's my defensive wife who doesn't have like, she's never been in a lot of those experiences I have. Just as a man, you go through life and you get into these kind of things. Yeah. And just to feel that she got bullied and she's defenseless.
Okay,
and her language ability is not, she's only been here for like a year. She speaks great Korean, but in those situations, she learned Korean in her house with her mom. There weren't a lot of like just battles like that. So where I grew up in basketball and everyone's like, she bought this, she bought that, right? Yeah. So like I'm used to these like kind of high tension experience. And when I feel like somebody like say my kids or my wife get bullied, that just throws me through the freaking roof. If you do something to me,
do it to me, it's fine, but don't do it to like other people I love.
So it just takes it to another level with me. And she's probably forgotten about it is the funny thing. Or maybe not forgotten about it, but just kind of like whatever.
It's crazy how your eyes are watering thinking about it.
I'm just like
but it's also
crazy.
Like what do you tell you have kids, right? So what do you tell your kids in a situation like that? What do you do? Like, and I'm just thinking I'd probably tell my son like, just feel bad for the guy because he probably has a miserable life, doesn't have as many people as we do that love us. Maybe he's going through that. Like, maybe that's a way to answer it. Like just kind of like let it go.
It's the hardest thing to like, because we're human, we have emotions, but then the emotions come up, and then the ability to see what's going on emotionally, and then be able to make a rational decision. And that's what makes us human. Like a lot of times, you're like, if we reacted on every single thing that happened emotionally, like where the fuck would we be? You know?
So there's a quote by Viktor Frankl. He said, "When there's a stimulus and then there's a reaction, right? Like that gap before your reaction, he said that's your freedom. That's where you have your freedom. You have the freedom to act however, right? When there's a stimulus at you.
Yeah.
But that
and it always takes two to tango, right?
Yeah.
So if you engage with a lot of these people, a lot of people, they want you to engage with them because that's how they're going to get their stress out. They want a little battle before work to like do this or do that.
Yeah. What's going on over there?
I'm just checking the battery.
Okay.
And
but
I think if
Viktor
somebody wants to
Frankl
fight, if you don't engage with them, then they're left hanging. And they look like an idiot because
they're ready for this huge battle and never
like,
happens.
yeah, stupid. And then you're just like, okay, bro. I hope you have a good day, and I hope you deal with the internal problems that.
And another thing,
and you just get in your car and drive
Where
away.
you going?
No, but Viktor Frankl was him and he was a Jewish guy who went to the concentration camps. And he got it the worst. All his family died. His wife, everybody died during World War II. And he's the one that like that's the stimulus and that response, that space in between. That's where your freedom lies. And to hear it from a guy who went through that and lost his family, and yet he has like you can choose how to react. That's your freedom. It's like
level.
Oh my god,
that's like next level shit, man.
that's some like Yoda shit, man. Yeah,
For real.
Let's be Yodas.
yeah. Yeah, I mean, there's no answer, but yeah, we're trying. I guess when we're in our 20s, I never would have had this conversation or even thought about doing this. But
Just punch him in the face. That's what you do.
Yeah.
The clowns, keep the clowns in the circus and keep on moving.
Yeah.
But I think
That's good.
because of time, I think this is a good place to wrap it
Right.
up. This was
Man, good talk, guys.
a fun
We
conversation.
didn't get to the cards today, but
Yeah.
Next
I
time.
want to try some balance next time again too. But hey, if you guys like our videos, subscribe, like our
Yeah.
videos. It helps a lot.
yeah.
And we'll try to
Smash
make
that fucking like button.
Throw some comments down there.
and throw some comments.
And if you
Tell
got a
us what
great
you
shit
want.
story,
Yeah.
Don't tell
Shit
us.
story, fight story. But yeah, thank you, and we'll see you all next time with Dave, Eric, Dan,
Second
John, and the
win.
sexy Bobby Choy. Bye bye.